So just forget about the first 4 Terminator films because ultimately they don't really matter anymore in this movie. It's fantastic. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today I'm going to be talking about the film Terminator Genisys. This is the newest installment in the Terminator franchise. It's the 5th movie. It is kind of a reboot of the whole franchise, so if it does well enough in the box office, we will probably see a sequel. The film, once again, stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has been in all 5 movies at this point, and he has a much more central role in this film than he did in Salvation. He is the guardian to Sarah Connor, Emilia Clarke, in this film, and he plays that role really well. It's kind of the same thing that we've seen before, so you kind of know what to expect if you've seen any of the Terminator movies before. But it does work, once again, quite nicely. We see kind of an older Arnold in this film as well, so he's not as strong, he's not as quick and powerful as he has been in the past films, but it still works really nicely. Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, Daenerys Targaryen, she is in this film with her regular brunette hair, and she looks fantastic. She is a badass in this movie. She is not the unknowing, defenseless waitress that we saw in the first Terminator. No, she has been prepped since she was 9 years old for this task of defending the world and stopping Judgment Day. She's a badass. She can hold her own in a fight, and it's a really nice thing to see. This is the first thing I've seen Emilia Clarke in outside of Game of Thrones, so it's kind of neat to see her go into a different type of genre and medium and see her portray a completely different character than she does on Game of Thrones. So I enjoyed her performance for that reason. Jason Clarke plays John Connor. He is in the film more than I expected him to be. And this leads me to one of my small gripes with the film. Is that I'm not going to really spoil it, but if you saw the trailer, I think it was the second trailer for the film, it kind of reveals something about the character of John Connor in this film, which kind of ruins a really cool reveal which could have happened had that not been shown in the trailer. I also really enjoyed the first little section of the film where it's in 2029 and we see John Connor leading the resistance in the final charge against Skynet. I would have honestly liked to see a film revolving around that, just that final confrontation, kind of taking us from the events of Salvation and just bringing us to the climax of the film, stretching out for about 2 hours and then diving in. That would have been cool for me. But that lasts about 15 minutes or so, and then we have our time travel stuff and we jump into 1984. And then in this timeline, Jai Courtney plays Kyle Reese. He is the person who is John Connor's father, and he is sent back in time to protect Sarah Connor, ultimately father John Connor with her. So that's a thing. And one thing that I actually did enjoy is because Sarah Connor is aware of basically all this stuff which is supposed to happen in her timeline. Somehow she's just aware of how all of these events are supposed to take place. Basically every event from the first 3 movies she's aware of. And so seeing her kind of grapple with that and not just be willing to just succumb like, oh hey, we're supposed to have sex and have kids, let's just do that. She is very resistant to it because she knows the outcome of that. At least what she's been told is that basically after they have sex, he will die and she will be in love with him when that happens, and she doesn't want to deal with that. She doesn't want to suffer that kind of pain. She has been alone for so long that she no longer really wants to deal with human emotion and that type of stuff. And you see a very stoic, very serious Sarah Connor in this film, and Emilia Clarke just portrays that fantastically, in my opinion. I thought she did a fantastic job kind of just juggling that type of knowledge that your fate is set in stone. This is what has to happen or else the whole world will basically be over. So kind of jumping more into that, this is essentially a new established Terminator timeline of sorts. The easiest way I have of kind of picturing it is the first 4 films are in their own separate dimension. They all kind of occurred chronologically, and then this is in its own different dimension. These are new events which are happening based on the other dimension's events. Something happens which kind of causes the rip in the timeline and gives us this new timeline that we see in Terminator Genisys, and I was okay with that. you kind of have to just let things happen. You can't really think about it too terribly hard, or else you're gonna like find little issues with the time stuff. I usually try not to think about time travel too often, just because obviously we have no idea how it actually works. There are theories, and if you think about it too much, it's just not going to work out for you. But I think a lot of reviewers, I haven't actually watched a review yet, but my assumption is that a lot of reviewers have issues with this new timeline. It doesn't really play into the lore entirely. It changes things, and I was okay with that. I had no real issues with it. I went into it, I enjoyed it for that reason. At the beginning of the film, though, we get to see like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator from the first film in his young form. This is a CGI version, I'm assuming, and it does not look good. Really, I could tell the CGI just the instant that I first saw him. Obviously, they're trying to kind of recreate that image of him and then have kind of old Arnold come in and take it down, his younger self. I get the idea of that. It just didn't really look that well done, young Arnold. They tried to do this like, also in Salvation, and it also didn't really work that well, in my opinion. So yeah, that's just one of the issues I had with the film. The action scenes in this film, though, are actually really, really cool. They're really fun to watch. They're choreographed really well. We get to see two different types of Terminators, the T-800 and the T-1000 in this film. And we get to see callbacks to like the original trilogy in terms of either dialogue or just certain enemies or certain ways that they get killed or just different things. And I really liked that they did stay true to the original films while kind of taking this idea and building on it and making it their own in this new timeline. I really did like seeing that. The ending, though, I'm not going to spoil it, obviously, but it does kind of make me question if there will be a sequel. There is a way that they could do a sequel. If the film makes enough money, if it makes Jurassic World numbers, it will definitely have a sequel. I don't think that'll happen, but you never know. Yeah, the ending kind of makes me question if there will be a sequel just because of what ends up happening by the end of the film. I enjoyed the ending for the most part. Just the very last scene was kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, there's a dialogue sequence which kind of leaves it open-ended as to what could happen, but ultimately we don't know. And it depends on how much money the movie makes. But really, those are my thoughts on Terminator Genisys. I had a lot of fun with this movie, actually. I don't really understand the really low scores it's been getting. I went into it, I had fun. I accepted the new timeline. I really, really enjoyed Emilia Clarke's portrayal of this new badass Sarah Connor, the conflicting emotions in her head and the her struggle with her fate and basically what she, in her mind, is being forced to do and live out this life that is ultimately not her own anymore. I like seeing that stuff, and it's really cool. Emilia Clarke is a very strong female protagonist, and I really enjoyed her. I think I enjoyed the movie as much as I did because of her performance in this film. She's a fantastic actress, and I cannot applaud her well enough for it. So, those are my thoughts on Terminator Genisys. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. Did you like the film as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.